Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW, and I made a man very happy tonight. Um, Not in that way, you dirty-minded people, but by jumping into a game and pulling out an absolutely stellar match with the two of us. And we're here in the T61 and the Exeter B, and this one is just simply titled Nuts. And for those of you that know your World War II history, the Battered Bastards of Bastogne with General Anthony McAuliffe, when he was asked to surrender by the Germans, sent back a one-word answer, which was nuts. And this one was very much the same. You saw the team list there. There's a triple division of cruisers out there. There's a couple of destroyers and a couple of battleships as well. We've got a couple of divisions on our side. We did play a game prior to this where the team just collapsed and folded like a bunch of I don't know what. So we decided to have another go at it. And this one was just the icing on the cake, shall I say. But we're just having a quick look through this list. There's Dallas, Pensacola. That's a lot of very rapid fire in HE. There's an Omaha there as well. This does not bode well for a two-man division, especially when I am in a little destroyer. But we spawn on A cap, so we're going to play A cap. I don't expect to survive very long in this at all. And I do say to Squirrel, for that is the man that I am in division with, that I expect that this division is going to rush a cap and absolutely pound it. They're going to be backed up by at least one destroyer, and I expect a battleship to be coming in too. And lo and behold, here they come, charging in full speed. I imagine sonars are running expecting torpedoes. They aren't rushing in like this without a destroyer leading the way. We've already got a battleship rushing the flank. There is a smoke screen. I expect that has been set for those cruisers to run into, but they're interested in having this cap fast and early because caps are king. Now you'll notice that I turn away here because that cap is not survivable in a T61. I do get spotted. I drop my smoke. I see another smoke screen out behind me and I'm thinking, hang on a second, how am I still spotted? There's got to be more than one destroyer. So we've got three cruisers, a battleship and potentially two destroyers coming out there. I need to take a trip to the beach to stop myself, let my smoke run past me. I do get a couple of torpedo hits out there, but there are torpedoes coming in from that side as well. Now we know where they are. It is time for the T61 to play its party trick. One of our cruisers has already taken an absolute crap ton of damage. This is going to turn into a tough fight. On the other side of the map, there are basically three ships, and blue team across there aren't even going to be able to hold. There's a reason for that. It's because there's a ninja boat out there. There's a kamikaze. We will see something of him a little bit later on. So we are running our sonar. We are running the smoke screen. There is the destroyer. I do get spotted. There's a gator there. We've got the sobriety, as I call it. There's a full health battleship out there, and there are still three cruisers. This is a place I don't want to be. So we pop some shots off. We get some torpedoes running. We're going to turn and back off this cap and swing around and come back the other way. But the gator sails straight into those torpedoes and gives us a dev strike. Red team are down three ships to our one. We have an early lead, but what we don't have is the caps. What we need to do is take that Pensacola off the cap, and then we can turn around and move back in. Squirrel and I had a very nice long chat before we jumped into these games, and it's really nice to get to know something about the people that come by and watch the channel and learn a little bit of who they are and what they are away from the video games. And is a very, very nice chap. So it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's certainly been a pleasure to play with you in this match, Squirrel, because it's going to turn into a stormer. But we aren't going to have all of our own way. I'm swinging into this cap. Red team are pulling it back with the ship kills. That kamikaze is putting a whole world of hurt on blue team. I think all 3 ships that have been lost were across there on B cap, so we know he is out there. The Iron Duke is looking to cause some damage. He's got himself kind of stuck out there, and our T22 rather, not a T21. I'm in the T61. He's in the T22. He is going to push out there and put some pressure onto these guys. I'm going to turn in for this cap. We want that destroyer out of this game. The Iron Duke, I think, has realised that he's kind of got himself in a little bit of a bad spot out there, and he is going to push in and start wrecking some blue team ships as well, because everybody else has kind of run across this way. That has left the right flank of the minimap wide open, and red team are just going to come cartwheeling round into us. This is not looking good. We are squeezed all into one spot. It doesn't seem like it's going to end well. Red team even it up with 4 for 4 on the ships. We are in the cap. We get the sobriety spotted again. I know it's not its real name, but that's what I call it. We put a spread of torps through there. We're going to try and pop a couple more shots on him whilst keeping an eye out for incoming fire. We do land a little bit, but is he going to take a torpedo? Yes, he does. T22 gets a torp on him. Now you'll notice that Iron Duke is pushing through. Literally, our team is being pushed from both directions now. And what we didn't want to see was this. There is an Omaha, there is a kamikaze, and I think it is in Normandy that are pushing in. Blue team are the poop in a shit sandwich. And in this game, everybody's going to have to take a bite of it. Now, I realise that we are well behind on points. We need caps. This Normandy is a huge risk. I want to take him off the map. But I know that there is a kamikaze out here who is probably screening for torpedoes. I'm going to put my own torpedoes out there. He must be ready for them. The kamikaze, I think, must be pinging the map with where my location is. So we just sling those out there and hope for the best. If we can get one on them, that's great. If we can get a flood, but we're trying to stay undetected. That Omaha should be a one shot from anybody, but look at the minimap. The majority of blue team have all died clustered between that island at the back. The T-22 is chasing the battleship, and it's at this point in the game that I realise we are at a huge, huge risk of just getting absolutely trashed. We need the caps. It's time to turn around. It's time to leave people on their own to try and fight and defend while we go and try to get a way to swing points in our favour. Now, if you play domination and you're one of those people that sits at the back and tries to snipe shots, seriously, you need to get on the caps, you need to protect the ships that are pushing the caps, and you need to be prioritizing the targets. Cruisers, those guys that are going to do damage to your little boats, because your little boats can save the game for you. This is a prime example of that. But Squirrel is going to do such an astounding job in this game. It is absolutely unbelievable. I get spotted by the Cammy. I told you he was tracking me. I'm looking at that Normandy expecting shells to come in. I've hit my second sonar that is running. I know this Cammy is going to be putting torpedoes out on me. I am now going to run him down. I fire my guns. I get spotted by the Normandy. That was to be expected. Now we are waiting for the torpedoes. This guy is going to expect us to rush, and rush we do. But he has himself spotted. he's not running full concealment because I pick him up at 4-6, but he fires his guns, and that lets Squirrel see him. That was his fatal mistake in this game, because he is now going to get torn to pieces. He's probably got a fast reload on those torpedoes, but we are going to do what we can to help in getting this guy off the map whilst taking the capture point. Kamikaze's gun. I land the lucky shot to get the kill. We're now on the caps. The bad thing about taking caps in a destroyer is the time it takes to turn them. But seriously, this time equals victory. I'm out of the game while I sail around these capture points. I need to slow, I need to stop, I need to turn these blue, because this is what we need to try and bring this game back to us. Our T-22, having taken care of that, I think it was an Iron Duke, wasn't it, out there, he tries to bum rush the Normandy, and the Normandy takes him out with a close quarters badge. Did he need to get that close? Probably not. He could have gone up and around, stayed undetected, and come back in. So please, YOLO is not the way to go. It's not always the way to go. Sometimes it works. Obviously, in this occasion, it didn't. It is down to myself and Squirrel against this Normandy. If he turns that cap, he starts pulling points on us. We need to make sure that these points tick up in our favour. We are still, 200 points behind at this stage of the game. Now we need to keep this guy reset. We want him to feel as uncomfortable as possible on that capture point while staying undetected and whilst turning these caps to blue. You look at the positioning, and Squirrel is there just to the 5 o'clock position of the Normandy. I'm now pushing round to the front, so I'll be coming in around the 2 o'clock position. He can't point his guns both ways, so this is where it becomes a game of cat and mouse. We've pulled it back to 180 points, so we're slowly gaining ground on red team, and here we go. We've got him spotted. It is time to start resetting. Let him know where we are. I expect he's going to put a full salvo at me. I'm looking for where that front turret is. I'd like to get a fire on and start ticking his damage. I hit the brakes and turn in. His shots go across the top. We get another cap reset on him. And while he's spotted, because he has fired his guns, so he's under a detection penalty, we're going to farm him for a couple more cap resets. But his guns are going to be trained on our smoke screen now. That is where he's going to be expecting us to come from. Squirrel is going in the back door. I am knocking at the front door. The only thing he can do is back up or come forward. This is crunch time. There are just over 2 minutes on the clock. We're around 80 points behind. I put my torpedoes out. The guy is still looking towards my smoke. I shouldn't have fired my gun so early there, but we needed to keep that capture point reset. We couldn't let him take that because we need the points here. He's taken the opportunity to load high explosive. He's now turning out. He knows I'm not in my smoke, so I am going to sail away. We'll get a couple more resets on him, and then we're going to go skinny. We get a single torpedo hit, a single flood, and I'm telling Squirrel, get a fire on him. This guy is going to burn. He's going to tick. He knows that all he has to do is kill one ship. Squirrel gets a beautiful salvo on him there, picking up a high caliber and a Confederate with one salvo. I think this shows who has been doing the work in this game. I'm just generally being annoying. I'm putting the torpedoes out there. This guy is going to have to twist and turn to avoid them. His attention is on me currently, but his guns have turned towards Squirrel. Squirrel is still banging on at them. We've got literally just enough points to take a win here. There are 40 seconds on the clock. He could kill me and kill Squirrel and take the win. But we've come from over 200 points behind here with 30 seconds on the clock to being 80 points ahead, and that is just going to keep ticking. We're almost up to a 100-point lead from a 200-point deficit. This is turning the game around. Blue team were on the ropes with this one. Squirrel is doing his absolute damnedest to save his life. The torpedoes are running, the guns are firing. The Normandy, I don't know where he was putting those shots, but it certainly wasn't where Squirrel was. That smokescreen worked an absolute treat. So, just under 70,000 damage, we get 2 kills, a dev strike, we get 3 caps, and a load of cap defense with 3,192 base XP. Squirrel there does an amazing job in the Exeter B, and he said he doesn't play that great, but seriously mate, this one, you brought home the bacon. I really do hope you've enjoyed this one. If you see me online and you want to jump into it for a game, doesn't matter if we haven't talked before, ping me a message. Let's play one. If you've enjoyed that one, click on one of these. Don't forget, hit the like button. If you haven't already done, please do subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.